What if reality, as we know it, is nothing more than a construct of our minds?
That sounds fascinating. Are you saying that everything we perceive could just be a figment of consciousness?
Exactly. Philosophical idealism suggests that the essence of reality is intertwined with mind and consciousness. The implications could change how we view existence itself.
But how far do these ideas go back?
They can be traced back to ancient Indian and Greek philosophies, with significant contributions from thinkers like Plato and various schools of thought in Buddhism.
The richness of idealism is that it spans across cultures and centuries, influencing various other philosophical frameworks.
To understand idealism better, we should start with its definitions. It can mean several things.
Like what? Is there a simple way to break that down?
Certainly. On one side, we have metaphysical idealism, which posits that reality is fundamentally mental. Then there's epistemological idealism, which asserts that our knowledge arises from mental frameworks rather than external reality.
So are these categories mutually exclusive?
Not at all. They can often overlap, with philosophers sometimes arguing for one type while completely avoiding the other. Interesting, isn't it?
And it sets the stage for many debates in philosophy that continue to be relevant today.
Diving deeper, we discover various forms of metaphysical idealism. Can you elaborate on that?
Are there many versions of this idealism?
Absolutely. For instance, we have pluralism, where multiple independent mental substances exist, and monism, which suggests a single fundamental reality.
And leading figures often had different views on which aspects are more fundamental.
Right? For example, while Platonic idealism values abstract forms, subjective idealists emphasize sensory experiences. It's like everyone has their own lens.
Plus, there's objective idealism, which creates a rich ground for discussion on whether something can exist outside our consciousness.
The roots of idealism can even be seen in pre-Socratic thought. What's the story there?
Seriously, how do those early philosophers fit into this picture?
Thinkers like Anaxagoras and Parmenides suggested that reality and being are linked to an intelligence or thought. Their ideas flirt with what we later call idealism.
So they were kind of proto-idealists?
Precisely. The connections can sometimes feel surprisingly modern, considering how long ago they were posited. It raises questions about the continuity of thought through the ages. Now let's turn to Platonism. Plato's theory of forms surely plays a significant role, doesn't it?
It seems like a huge part of the discussion. What exactly did he propose?
Plato believed in ideal forms that were eternal and perfect. Everything we see is just a shadow of these pure ideas.
But doesn't that suggest a sort of dualism?
That's the debate. Some argue Plato was dualist, others view him more as a monist. It's all very nuanced.
And this leads us to Neoplatonism, where the concepts expand even further with notions like the One.
Moving ahead into the Judeo-Christian realm, we find interesting idealist notions.
How did early Christian thought influence idealism?
Many Christian theologians, particularly in the Neoplatonist tradition, embraced idealism. They viewed reality as a reflection of divine thought.
So even the fabric of Christian theology has idealist roots.
Indeed, figures like Augustine adapted Plato's ideas, blurring the line between metaphysics and spirituality.
The implications unwind into various movements, ultimately shaping how we understand reality in religious contexts.
This is all deeply intriguing. I wonder how the ideas of idealism will continue to evolve in modern thought.
It remains a vibrant area of discussion, with possibilities for new interpretations.
Keep your eyes peeled. There's much more to uncover. The continuation of idealism into future philosophies will be nothing short of captivating.
I bet. Listeners, if you have thoughts or insights, feel free to share them in the comments. They might hold clues we haven't discussed.